Good morning and welcome to Shorewood Church of God. My name is Jared and I have the honor and privilege of being your pastor this morning here at Shorewood Church of God. It is our mission to reach, grow, and serve the community for Christ. We reach by inviting everybody we know to in-person and online services. So if you're online with us right now, please like, share, comment, start a watch party, do all the things. We'd love for you to join with us at this time. We grow by taking the next steps in our Next Steps guide. It's on our website, and we join in on life groups that are going to start in just a few short weeks. And we serve by joining in and loving our community in every way we possibly can. Let's pray this morning as we start to worship. God, thank you so much for today. Thank you for who you are and what you're about, what you're doing in our lives, and Lord, we ask you to minister to us in this moment. Some of us come into this environment with heavy hearts. We need you to love us and care for us and lighten our load in this time. We ask you to be with us and guide us in all that we speak, all that we do, and how we live. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Stand and worship with us.
Good morning, church. Thank you for joining us in person and online. Please continue to worship with us.
Great
You may be seated. We've got a couple of announcements for you this morning as we continue to worship together. The first is life groups. They're going to launch middle of October, and we're still looking for a few life group leaders for that. Life groups this time, we're going to follow along with our Sunday morning service topic, and it'll be a kind of a debrief of those moments. And they will all be online. So this will be, instead of the traditional life group leader, more of a discussion guider, if you will, and a discussion shepherd at this time, and that's what we're going to do for this season of life groups. If you're interested in leading one of these, please email the office and sign up for them, which night you're going to be a part of the life groups will be available shortly. The next announcement I have for you today is Table Talk will be this Wednesday. It's a wonderful women's evening on Wednesday night. There's a wonderful, wonderful time of coming together, talking about a different topic, and then separating throughout the church to be kind of discuss and dive into these topics in more detail. That'll be happening Wednesday evening. If you're not comfortable with coming and being a part of that, it will be available online as well, so make sure you look out for that. Opportunity, you want to be a part of that. Next, I have for you our prayer Zooms. Prayer Zooms go on at 1 o'clock on Wednesday afternoons. This has been a fantastic opportunity to pray for each other, to share what's on each other's heart throughout this whole season. And I love this wonderful experience that we've been having each and every week. If you're interested in being a part of that, the invite email goes out on Tuesday afternoons, and just click on and be on at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Also, if you have any prayer requests for us at that time, you can email the office at any time. And finally, our family worship guide for our kids ministry is available. It's available on Saturday nights. You can go to the website right now and download it, or it's probably waiting for you in your email box. If you'd like to debrief or kind of go a little deeper into whatever topic we've been talking about on Sunday morning, the family worship guide is for you. Got some more fun announcements about what's in store for our kids ministry later on in the service today. At this time, we're going to take up our morning tithes and offerings. If you're in the building with us today and you're doing a traditional gift, there's a little gray box in the back of the church. At the end of the service, please place it there so we don't have ushers going around and you can be as touchless as possible. Online is always the quickest and easiest way to give. There's two different ways you can give online: through our website at sbrg.com/give, or on our app, which is available on Google Play or the App Store. The app offers all kinds of other stuff besides just giving opportunities. It's got a calendar of events. It's got sermon notes on it. It's got everything you've ever dreamed about knowing about Shorewood Church of God is available right there in the palm of your hand. And so we want to direct you to that. This time we're going to take up our tithes and offerings. We want to thank you so much for all their generosity and how you've been fueling the ability to be flexible in this time. Your blessings have just been amazing in this place. We've been able to love our community well. Let's pray. God, thank you so much for today. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for this church. God, I ask for your guidance. I ask for you to move in us and how we direct our thoughts and how we even think about you and think about community and think about how we love people well. Thank you for the generosity of this church, Lord. We ask you to multiply it, the gift, and to give us discernment and wisdom as we build them out. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, here at Shorewood Church of God, we are passionate about kids. Our kids ministry here at the church is incredibly vibrant and exciting and wonderful to be a part of. So what does that look like? What does that mean to us? We have been going through the different values of the church. Every member is a minister. Every minister is a member as well. So every member is a minister. As we are here and we are experiencing joy, we value having joy in our lives. Every story matters. Your life experiences, what you've been through matters, and it can directly affect other people in our community with your beautiful story of victory in Jesus. Today we're talking about how we are passionate and we value kids, the next generation. How we're intentional about this. And so when I was thinking about this and preparing this message, I just kept on thinking about our series called The Perfect Fit. And where do kids work in that? Well, sometimes it's interesting to look at our kids' ministry and go, I don't have kids anymore. I'm an empty nester. Maybe this whole message doesn't apply to me. Wrong. Everybody that we come in contact with, kids ministry is a value of who we are. Everything that we do flows back into that. Whether we are ministering to our friends, who then may be a grandma of a kid, right? So it's kids ministry. We're ministering to our friend who might be struggling father, which means it's actually kids ministry. It all follows back into kids ministry just by the very nature of who kids are for us. So you may think, no, I'm not in kids ministry. I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to be in the back, and I'm not that guy. I'm not that girl. I'm not that woman. So I understand. Except when we find our perfect fit in the kingdom of God, it all fits together, and everything flows back into kids ministry. It's just the way it works, and it's very intentional that way. When you think about it, and you think about our lives as maybe puzzle pieces. And these puzzle pieces, we go in and we're trying to find our perfect fit. We're trying to figure out where we are. And maybe we think, I need to be a blank at church. I need to fit into this mold. I need to fit into this, whatever that may look like. And we start to force ourselves into those moments. Now, there's people in my family that after about 5 minutes of trying to find that one piece and where it goes on this. Lets you pick out who you think that may be in our family. Right? But so that's not the appropriate thing. I was talking to Coy Potter after the first service, and he said, I don't pound it. I just take out my pocket knife. And that's not necessarily how this is supposed to go. But then you have the person in your family that once they slam that in, and they walk away and go get a drink of water, go to the bathroom or whatever, they pick up that piece, they turn it around, they change the perspective a little bit, and that was a flower. This whole time, you were trying to make it a piece of jewelry. Right? And there's a total different perspective. There's a total different place. It goes on the other side of the puzzle and makes something beautiful. And that one piece actually unlocks all kinds of other of the mosaic of a puzzle to come together. The same thing happens with us in the body of Christ, as we are all puzzle pieces with a perfect fit. Some of us have been looking around for a place that we fit for a long, long time, and we keep on hammering ourselves, I've got to be a kids worker. I got to be a hospitality person. But it just doesn't fit. It doesn't work. I feel like it's important. Well, it is important. It is incredibly important. But there might be actually a better place for you to be to unlock all of your potential. Because and we start to go back down it, it all flows back into kids ministry. The better we do the donuts, the better that we do the cleaning of the bathrooms, the better that we do of anything, it all flows back to kids ministry. Because if the bathrooms aren't clean and the mom walks in there with her child and they don't feel safe, guess what? That mama ain't coming back with that kid no more. It's kids ministry. Isn't that crazy how it works that way? They come in, the kids ministry in the back was fantastic, but man, that pastor talked forever. And they don't want to come back because all they can think about is my poor kids in the back for an hour and a half. And he keeps on talking and talking and talking and talking. I'm not coming back here no more. I don't want to have, it doesn't matter if I'm bringing the gospel, if their brain is thinking about is their kids safe in the back and what's going on back there. It comes back to kids ministry. Kids ministry is our biggest opportunity for discipleship. It's our biggest opportunity for evangelism. It's our biggest opportunity to see families come back together. Our kids ministry is actually a marriage ministry. Our kids ministry is a parenting ministry. Our kids ministry is a grandparenting ministry. It all keeps on flowing back to them. When we start to value kids ministry in our thought process, it changes us from being from consumers to investors. So valuing kids means being investors, not consumers. Valuing kids means being investors, not consumers. An easy way to think about this is this. I go to Chick-fil-A. I want my sandwich to be done right. I want the oil to be clean. I want my sandwich to come out piping hot. I want the bun a certain way. I want my waffle fries to be crispy, not soggy. I want my milkshake just perfect, not too much whipped cream. It's really fine. I'm a consumer. I expect things to be done this way. I'm paying money for this. I want it my way. I think totally different about that if I'm the franchise owner of the Chick-fil-A. Right? I want every milkshake to be done perfectly. I want every sandwich to be done perfectly. I want every customer's experience. I want my tellers to say, my pleasure, when I give it out. I want the drive-thru experience to go really well. I want all of that to work really well because now I'm invested into it. And when we switch our brains in the way in which we think about the community of Christ, not necessarily our church, but being a believer, from being a consumer to being an investor, we start to go, there's a bigger story being told. Now, everyone starts out their Christian walk as a consumer. Everybody needs to start out their Christian walk. You come into a place, maybe 50 years ago, maybe yesterday, you come into a place, and I am in a place that I need to meet Jesus for the first time. I need to experience redemption. I need to experience that God has something for me that's going to radically change my life. And then there's a season of consuming in that. There's a season of, I need this to reorient, to restructure my life. But then there comes to a point where now it's time I'm going to move from that. And I need to become an investor. It usually comes to a point where I feel like I'm stuck. Clearly, there should be more for me. It comes when now I've got ownership of my faith. I'm moving from a consumer to an investor. So we look at our kids. Our children's ministry is unlike some other churches that I've even worked in. I'm not bad-mouthing churches. It's just the nature of the beast. Is that kids ministry is not child care. It's not a daycare. It's not where we put them in the back so we don't have to hear them or listen to them. That's nice. Let mommy and daddy go to real church. That's not how we view it at all. Actually, I made this joke at the first service, is that I'm the child care for y'all, and your kids are getting the ministry in the back. Right? I was like, we have to do adult ministry so the kids can get the awesome stuff in the back. Okay? Because stuff that they do back there really seems really fun. So that's how I view it. But it's a shift in how we think about it because we have to be very understanding of our kids' ministry as the next generation of faith. It is how we understand where we're going. If you talk to some of the people in the church who actually work in the back on a regular basis, they're going to tell you that that's where they have grown the most, where they started to understand the Scripture a lot better. Pique their interest in what does it mean? What does that look like? By having to teach the lessons in the back or hearing a silly game and going, well, why is that? And starting to ask the faith questions. So kids ministry is not just for the little ones. It starts to grow and disciple our adults as well. It all flows into that. I'm not saying devaluing you in any way, shape, or form if you say, I don't have a child. That's okay. You're still going to be doing kids ministry in some way. If you care and you invest in anyone in this church, it will trickle back into our kids and student ministry. Valuing kids means we graduate to developing the next generation. We graduate to developing the next generation. Now, graduation, going through this past year and graduating must have been weird. Graduating high school, you don't get your open house, you don't get all that stuff. This just must have been weird. But it's just a beautiful celebration. But I don't know if you're anything like me, that last year or so of high school was rough. That last year of college was let me out of here. And there's this tension, there's this weird feeling of I've outgrown this moment in life. It was a bad case of senioritis. And we dread it as parents or as a youth pastor. I'd always dread senioritis, and as teachers, they dread it as well. But it's actually a really healthy, good thing. It means that child, that student, has outgrown this area of life, like a crustacean needing a bigger shell. Right? This is uncomfortable anymore because I need something more. I need something bigger in my life. Sometimes that goes with us as well. When we deal with these moments, especially in faith, we get asking questions like, I'm not getting fed at church, or I need a deeper Bible study, or I need this, or I need that. It's actually a good thing. You're dissatisfied because you need to graduate into the next season of life. It's hard, it's difficult. It's kind of scary to remember yourself at 17 or 18 years old going, I actually have to be an adult now. I have to actually take care of myself now. I have to, I don't necessarily want to do it. I just want the freedom that comes with it, right? And there's this weird moment and this weird tension and all the, if you parented a child that was 18 years old and went through this, there was a lot of excitement probably on your part and a lot of sleepless nights because this graduation is tough. It's difficult. It's something that all of us have to take that step in. It's actually something that we should all be pulling others to take that step. Because as people go from being spiritual infants to spiritual children, to spiritual young adults, to spiritual parents, there's these moments of graduation between each one of them. As they start to own their faith a little bit more, maybe you've experienced it, you've never been able to put your finger on it or put a title on it or whatever. No, I am different than I was 3 years ago. I am different than I was now. Oh, look at this feels a little different. Why is that? What is it? Or maybe you go, I'm stuck. I am the same place I was 4 years ago. Well, maybe it's time you graduated and put yourself into the next level. What really informs this discussion and this idea of how we grow in this is the Shema. And this is the verse we use in child dedication anytime we get to do that. So this is a staple of belief. This is a fundamental scripture that needs to kind of inform how we do everything in our lives. Let's just read it. It's Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. These commandments I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road. When you lie down and when you get up, tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them to your foreheads. Write them on your door frames of your houses and on your gates. Impress them on your children. This was taken so literally for ancient Jewish people that Jewish literacy rates of children was much higher in the ancient world than that of other cultures. Why? Because they took this to heart. Impressed the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, onto their kids. And so you take your child, and then you would be talking and reading with these beautiful commands of God. That they would be able to live through and know the Exodus story, how God had brought them out of slavery. They would know the story of Jacob, Joseph, Abraham, Noah. But those stories were their stories, and that was their heritage. And they would know it and live it and be part of it. And everybody in the community would be a part of walking these kids through this journey of who they are, where they've come from. So great uncle so-and-so would be always told the best Abraham story. And great grandma so-and-so told, she would act like Sarah and tell the Abraham story like Sarah over and over again. We'd always sit at her feet and maybe we'd get a little something from grandma's kitchen. But even you can see the community act in that. And that's how we are as a church. Like, this should be on our lips, telling our faith story. Not necessarily the ones of the Scripture, but that the kids, the next generation of our church knows the faith story of our leaders. Knows the faith story of Josh Walker and Mrs. Seminci and people who poured their lives into it. They know Tina Hauser's faith story. And then they can make it their own as they incorporate and figure out their story through that. See, all of our stories matter. Every member is a minister. And through the joy, we love our children and everything at Calvary, the kids' ministry. You see how this all works together? It's beautiful and wonderful. Like, it's so easy. When I first started talking about this particular value to our elder board, I said, yep, kids' ministries are value. And the pushback was, isn't that going to alienate people that don't have kids? Maybe. But everything we do is about kids' ministry. It's not an exclusion of them. We don't care about you. We don't care. No, that's not it at all. This is the joy of community that we get to walk in. Once we start thinking about that, we think about little lives, we think about big lives, we think about mom's lives, we think about dad's lives, we think about grandparents' lives, understanding their heart cry and who they're trying to be, we understand that all ministry is really boils down to kids' ministry. It's the greatest opportunity for evangelism. It's the greatest opportunity for discipleship of kids and of parents. And so when we latch onto that and we grow into it, when we become investors instead of consumers, beautiful, wonderful things happen. Valuing kids alters our priorities and frames our ministry. Valuing kids alters our priorities and frames our ministry. It changes the decisions that we make. Valuing kids makes design choices on how do we make new spaces. We've remodeled, I've been here 7 years, we've remodeled the kids' spaces twice. It's been 3 years, probably about time to do it again. No, I'm not really into that. Kevin just had a little heart attack back there. But valuing kids alters our priorities and frames our ministries. Like, we think that first. Sanctuary was the last room in our church to get remodeled, right? The youth space was the first, the kids were first in the youth space, and then we went back to the kids space. We keep on moving the offices around because we don't matter. And we're like, no. We got to be laser focused on developing and growing what's going to make our families feel the most like they're valued and cared for. How do we make the best environment for kids to learn about Jesus and His wondrous love? How do we do that? If it changes our priorities, it frames our ministries. I want to talk about the nitty-gritty of what that looks like for us here in the near future. One of the biggest heartbreaks for me during the whole Corona thing has been the cessation of student ministry and kids ministry. Not having the kids run around here. Not hearing their voices underneath my feet. Not hearing them giggle or yell their memory verse out. That stinks. So, how do we figure that out? How do we do that responsibly? How do we do that well? Well, I'm going to tell you. All right, we've got some very creative people. We've got some interesting ideas. We've got some stuff that's coming up in just the near future. This semester will be one idea, and then hopefully next semester will be different. We have no idea how, when everyone has to be inside again, but this is all going to happen. We have no idea what's going to happen when people go back to school. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell the future. I'm just going to be obedient to God and do the best I possibly can to protect this congregation. That's my promise to you. However, what we've got working down the pipeline that's very flexible is this. Our kids ministry in the very near future, we've been doing the family worship guides. So that puts the emphasis in the hands of the parents if they want to teach their kids more. They've got that tool in their toolbox. Coming next month, going along with the next series, the next series is we will be doing our leaders will be teaching one lesson. And so our normal leaders, like Missy and Kelly and Christina, and we'll have other people as well, teaching a lesson, and we'll record it and put it on YouTube. And so each Sunday you'll have an actual lesson taught by one of our fantastic teachers. And kids by this time, they've been e-learning. They'll understand how to receive a lesson in an online format. And we're real excited about being just changing it up a little bit and entering spaces in those ways. And then at Christmas time, we've got a really cool surprise for you. It will be happening at Christmas. The Christmas kids stuff is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like here at the church yet, but I know the take-home stuff is going to be really, really cool. Okay, and so we're going to be doing some stuff in concert with that. It looks like, as we start to work through our progression, it'll follow along with the school's progression. The littlest of our church-goers will be taken care of first in the back, having our preschoolers and kindergartners back in the back and having space for them. And as we kind of figure that out, we'll start to incorporate that in the grade. But with Christmas, there's going to be some stuff that you're going to want the neighbors to participate in, cousins, everybody you know to participate in. It's going to be a blast. So we're going to have kind of a rotation of different creative things to kind of keep it fresh for your children and as adults to kind of help teach your kids what's going on. Our student ministry is going through a lot of changes right now, and it's going to start back up. Our men's ministry did an amazing job Saturday making a fire pit for us in our side yard. So our student ministry will start back up with some socially responsible fires. That just sounds funny. But our socially responsible fire opportunities, just enjoy each other, but be able to be spaced out. As the seasons start to change, this should be a really, really fun time to be together. Also, we'll have a life group opportunity for them coming up when life groups start as well. So we're really trying to press into that, figure it out, work through it, and trying to be the best we possibly can in these moments. And we're excited about what God is doing in both of these ministries. These are incredibly, incredibly important. They're not sideshows, they're the main thing. They're not just add-ons at the end of the day. They're DNA issues of who we are. How do we love these kids well? How do we show them Jesus? Because when we show them well, we show their parents Jesus. Right? If you want to love me, love my kid. Like, I can't stand you, but if you treat my kid with respect and well, you got a fan. Right? I like everybody here. Just clarify. But you understand, like you can put up with a lot of stuff. My kid loves you. Okay, I need to understand you better because my kid really buys into you. So what are they seeing that I'm maybe might not be seeing? Some of you have probably gone through that before. Some of you are struggling with high school age kids that you just don't connect with. And you're like, what in the world? These are two puzzle pieces. We're putting these two pieces. I know I birthed you, and I know that you have my DNA, but I don't really believe it at this moment. And it just doesn't fit. But then somebody else walks in the door, and there's a connection and a spark, and that person can say the same exact stuff you said, and they listen to it, and you're like, okay, they got truth. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to choose joy that they received truth. Okay, right? But that's what church is about. We get to come together as a team and get to love on our kids together because all of it goes back to being kids' ministry. This is a DNA issue of the kingdom of God, of who we get to be. And I can't wait to see what God does in the future of this church. As we look at our puzzle pieces and we figure out where do we fit, where do we go, how does this all work? All of a sudden, maybe we set out to make an elephant, but Now all of a sudden we see this beautiful teddy bear that we can make. And through that, and through those experiences, and through loving each other, and through loving grandma, through loving grandpa, through loving the different age brackets in our church, we get to see the next generation rise up and be healthy and understand who God is in their life. By always pointing back to the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God. The Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home, when you walk along the road, and when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them as symbols in your hands and bind them on your forehead. Write them on your door frames and the houses of your gates. This is our call. This is our drive. This is who we get to be. I can't wait to see when we find whatever our new normal is, if that's always a hybrid conversation, if that is completely back out in person, whatever that may be, what we do, what we look like, how we find our perfect fit, and how we love our children well, how we raise them in the church, how we raise them to be the next generation of powerful, influential, amazing babies. Pray with me. God, thank you so much for today, and thank you for this moment and this time. God, I ask you to bless us and guide us in what we do. Lord, be with us as we may be people who are struggling with our children at this time, in this moment, whether they're grown or whether they're young. Lord, we ask for your wisdom. Lord, we ask for people in our community to come alongside us and love with us. In Jesus' holy, glorious, wonderful name I pray. Amen.
It's your body and your blood and prayer for me. I'll fight my battle. It's the table that you prepare for me. The presence of my enemy. It's your body and your blood and prayer for me.
be a day in which we graduate. May this be a moment in which we reassess our lives and how God is working in us. We press on to the next phase of our life. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you all the days of your life. You are dismissed after you clean up your tears.